can farming like this feed the world? I firmly believe it can, if not it does. But you have to change the food system in order to be able to make the decisions you want to on farm. My grandfather moved here in the 50s and was part of this wave of industrialisation of agriculture, and his domain was pigs. He was part of that focus on ripping out hedgerows and putting stock inside. And my aunt ran it for 30 years until we moved back in 2007. The business we inherited was quite deeply entrenched in the kind of big food system. So we were producing commodities, wheat, barley, oilseed rape, and selling them on global markets, which have really nothing to do with how much it costs to produce a ton of wheat here in Somerset. Yeah, I'm going to do that bag as well for them. The first 5 years we were entrenched in the industrial system. The middle 5 years we were really thinking about what was really going on. Why was there this yield plateau? My mindset shifted from still trying to be an industrial farmer by fixing soil fertility and by considering the soil biology, to then seeing what was really going on in the soil and realizing that the two systems were just fundamentally incompatible. The process of transformation for me was just about lots and lots of simple, small decisions that all add up to, 15 years later, a farm that is totally different. And that also led us to start really thinking about what food system we were involved in as well. We have a 4-year rotation, 2 years of diverse lays running into 2 years of arable cropping. And half of the arable cropping goes to Southwest bakeries, including Rosie's Bakery on the farm, and the other half goes to feed the pigs, which are a really important part of the fertility part of the system. I wanted to start here by saying, how do I want to do this? And in the old system, I couldn't do that. You had to work back from a price that you didn't set, and therefore that pushed you down a completely different trajectory in terms of thinking about scale and yield and cost. It's a totally different existence, really, and identity as a farmer. But it really matters because, when I was farming conventionally, we were constantly trying to impose ourselves and effectively beat nature. And now everything we're doing is kind of enhancing it or working with or feeling for the boundaries. And there's such a big difference from where we were 15 years ago. The point of regenerative is it's a mindset, it's an approach, it's a way of thinking, it's a way of being on the farm. So as soon as you codify it, you stop it being a living, moving thing. The whole essence of what we're trying to achieve is a resilient farming system. So that doesn't mean boom yields or bust yields. It means accepting a stable, sustainable yield, whether it's the stock that's coming off the ground and the carrying capacity, or it's the yield of the wheat or the emmer or the cereals that are going into the bakeries. Okay. Imagine I carry some grain to Rosie's mill, she mills it,
I take the bran from the mill and I feed it back to the pigs, and then she makes a sausage roll with the meat from the pigs and puts it in the pastry that's made from the grain. I mean, that's just like, that would never happen in an industrialized system.
We're giving people the opportunity to put something in their bodies that's nutritious and comes from somewhere, from a place where so much good intention has gone into making these choices around that end-baked good. We have this amazing opportunity to sort out problems between us and within our network. It's really empowering to do that rather than to think that someone else is going to solve the food system crisis. I'm giving feedback on varieties and what's functioning well and what's tasting really good in the bakery, and that informs what he grows.
The easiest way of communicating all of the stuff we're doing is to just remove that disconnect between what we're doing and who's eating it. So bring people to the farm and feed our local community. That's what small food brings. Is you don't have to package that up into like a neat, sexy one-liner. You can just let everyone consume the farm through their own lens, kind of thing. Uh-oh, what? It sort of doesn't matter, or it matters a lot less how many pounds per tonne the wheat is. We're like deeply embedded in this food system together.
Is that touching? I'm not quite sure.
Right, back to the tractor. Back to the tractor. And the interesting thing, coming full circle, is that we're now thinking about yield again, because the farm is like rewarding us with a really actually highly fertile, productive ecosystem. How do we prevent regenerative from becoming packaged up and codified at a minimum standard? You know, how do we enshrine it and keep it in our own hands and as a lived experience?
Oh, big good girl. What colour is this one? Green. Right, let's get you done, Eric.
If I think about the future, it's less about what hopes I have. Hope implies that we have some grand plan. We don't hope, and it's more about trusting what we're doing and let the farm set the future.